The photo looks like something out of a movie. A young man leans on a yellow motorcycle in an empty stadium. No helmet, no smile, just a quiet kind of confidence. The kind that doesn't need words. The name at the bottom reads Mike Alstott. And in 1996, this was his first rookie card from Upper Deck. Most rookies smile or pose with the football, but not Alstott. He leans on the bike like he's been waiting his whole life to take off. Not for fame, not for flash, but for something deeper. He looks like he's built from a different material. This was before the Pro Bowls, before Tampa Bay found its bruising identity, before fans called him A-Train. This was the version of Mike Alstott that nobody really knew yet. The fullback who was too big for a tailback title, and too explosive to just block. The 1996 Upper Deck card isn't about just stats or gloss. It's about what football used to feel like. Raw, earned, personal. A kid who grew up in Joliet, Illinois, who'd carry that Midwestern toughness all the way to Florida. This card isn't a pose, it's a promise. That look says it all. No matter who doubts him, no matter how much the game changes, he's built to keep going forward. Before the rookie card, before the roar of Raymond James, there was Joliet, a steel town outside Chicago where toughness wasn't a slogan, it was a lifestyle. Mike Alstott wasn't the biggest kid on the block, but he was the one who ran the block. He grew up the way most Midwestern legends do. Quiet homes, cold mornings, long drives to practice. His parents didn't raise a showman, they raised a worker. Football was never about attention, it was about direction. At Joliet Catholic High School, he didn't just play, he set the tone. Coaches talk about players who create momentum, but Alstott was momentum. Every yard was a fight, and every hit was personal. He didn't need to talk trash or flash speed. His style was simpler. Hit first, hit hard, and keep going. He was already showing signs of the future A-Train mindset. Low pad level, fearless contact, the kind of back defenders remembered on Monday morning. By the time Purdue called, he wasn't chasing a scholarship. He was chasing a purpose. He wanted to prove that a fullback could still matter in a sport falling in love with finesse. That's where the legend started. A Joliet kid who played like a storm. Quiet, constant, and impossible to move. Purdue didn't recruit Mike Alstott to be flashy. They recruited him because he did one thing better than anyone else: finish plays. At a time when most backs were trying to dance or outrun defenders, Mike Alstott was trying to run through them. He turned Big Ten games into crash courses in endurance. Defensive coordinators dreaded the scouting reports, not because he was fast, but because he never quit driving his legs. He'd run 30 times a game, 40 if they needed it. Every carry was a statement. Toughness still matters. Fans at Ross-Ade Stadium didn't just cheer when he scored. They cheered when he dragged 3 defenders an extra 5 yards. By his senior year, he left Purdue as their all-time leading rusher and the heart of the program. But even then, scouts didn't know where to place him. Was he a running back? A fullback? Some kind of hybrid? Mike didn't care about titles. He cared about the work. That same attitude that filled the Joliet winters followed him to draft day. A second-round pick by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The league was changing. Fullbacks were fading. But Alstott wasn't built to fade. He was built to redefine what power looked like. That's why this card, this 1996 Upper Deck rookie, captures him perfectly. Sitting still, but ready to roll. Calm, but coiled with energy. The quiet before the impact. Tampa Bay in 1996 wasn't the powerhouse it would become. It was still finding itself, still trying to shake the years of losing. Then came a rookie named Mike Alstott. No spotlight, no expectations, just a playbook, a purpose, and a chip on his shoulder the size of Joliet. It didn't take long for fans to notice something different. He wasn't like other fullbacks. He wanted the ball, and when he got it, defenders felt it. He ran low, with that signature burst that made contact sound like a car crash in slow motion. By midseason, he wasn't just blocking for others. He was scoring touchdowns, dragging tacklers across the goal line like they were luggage. In an era of flash, Alstott gave Tampa something else: identity. He brought back a style of football that belonged to the trenches: grit, sweat, and willpower. The kind that made fans stand a little taller when he broke free for one more impossible yard. He wasn't a running back or a fullback. He was something entirely different, a symbol of effort. And that's what his rookie card captured before the world even saw it. That image of him resting on the bike wasn't just cool, it was metaphorical. The engine was ready, and the ride hadn't even begun. Between 1997 and 2002, Mike Alstott became a folk hero. 6 straight Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pro selections, touchdown after touchdown, all earned, never given. He became known simply as A-Train, Not because it was catchy, but because it fit. Every carry felt like a locomotive hitting daylight, unstoppable once it found its track. The league had changed around him, but Alstott stayed the same. He didn't chase trends or schemes. He chased contact, chased wins, and chased respect. Tampa Bay's offense didn't rely on finesse. It relied on his will. You could feel it in the stadium, the way the fans roared when he lowered his shoulder. There was no highlight more Tampa than Alstott turning a 1-yard play into a pile-moving masterpiece. When John Gruden came in, Alstott's role shifted, but his purpose didn't. He became the emotional engine behind that Super Bowl run in 2002. The guy every teammate trusted in the hardest moments. By the time the Bucs lifted that Lombardi, it wasn't just a team victory. It was a validation of every yard Alstott had earned on the way. And through it all, that rookie card image stayed timeless. Calm strength, steady focus, no smile, just certainty. The bike had finally hit full speed. Time catches up, even with trains. By the mid-2000s, injuries began to stack up. Neck issues, shoulder pain, the kind of toll that doesn't show up in stats, but shows up every morning when you try to move. Alstott never complained. He never sought sympathy. He'd always played through pain, and now he was learning to play through limits. The league was changing again. Spread offenses, shotgun formations, fullbacks were fading fast. But Mike stayed loyal to Tampa Bay, to the fans who had chanted his name for a decade. He didn't need the spotlight to stay relevant. His name meant effort. Even as carries dwindled, every time he touched a ball, the crowd erupted. They knew what it represented. Grit, reliability, the kind of toughness that doesn't retire, even when the body starts to. That's what makes his story resonate. Not the highlight reels, but the resilience. The 1996 card starts to mean something new here. The young man on the motorcycle wasn't just showing strength. He was foreshadowing endurance. The ability to stay steady, stay built for impact, no matter how the road turns. When Mike Alstott officially retired in 2008, the city of Tampa felt it. He didn't go out chasing stats or headlines. He went out the same way he came in, grounded, grateful, and proud of what he stood for. His farewell press conference wasn't about numbers. It was about moments, the crowd chants, the cold games, the hits that left bruises on both sides, the trust between teammates who knew exactly what kind of man was leading them. There's a rare kind of legacy that doesn't fade when the whistle blows. Alstott's was one of them. The game had changed, speed over strength, spread over smash mouth. But for a generation of fans, Mike Alstott was football. Not the fantasy football kind, the real kind. Mud, sweat, scars, and heart. And somewhere, that rookie card still sits in a box or a sleeve, reminding collectors of what the era meant, when players played for pride, not platforms. The motorcycle is still parked in that photo, but now it feels like it's earned its rest. Today, Mike Alstott's name still carries weight. In Tampa, he's not just remembered, he's revered. Coaching high school kids, mentoring young athletes, living with the same values he played with. Consistency, humility, and heart. His highlight reels still circulate online. The stiff arms, the broken tackles, the touchdowns that look more like wrestling matches. But his true highlight reel lives off the field. The respect he earned without even asking for it. That's what makes his 1996 Upper Deck rookie card so iconic. It's not valuable because of its scarcity or autographs. It's valuable because it captured authenticity. No flash, no filter. Just a man on the verge of a journey that would outlast the trends, the stats, and the spotlight. That image of him, leaning on the handlebars, says everything about who Mike Alstott was. Not just a football player, but a foundation. When you hold that card today, you don't just hold cardboard. You hold an attitude. A reminder that strength doesn't need to shout. Every sport has players who define eras. But every now and then, there's one who defines values. Mike Alstott never chased records. He chased consistency. He gave Tampa Bay a heartbeat, not headlines. In a league obsessed with speed, he brought gravity. In a world built on flash, he proves that substance still matters. The 1996 Upper Deck rookie card will always stand out. Not because of foil or rarity, but because it captured a truth. A quiet moment before the storm. A man ready to earn every yard he'd ever get. The motorcycle, the look, the stillness. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. A young man who knew exactly who he was long before the world did. That's the magic of cardboard credentials. Every card has a story. And this one, it tells the story of endurance. The story of a player who made toughness look timeless. The A train never needed to say much. He started the engine, lowered the shoulder, and kept moving forward. And that's what Mike Alstott's rookie card represents. No fame, no flash, just forward.